Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K Ultra HD Steelbook edition of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu Ray, released by Disney. It can be found as a slipcover edition available at your local and online retailers, a Walmart exclusive with an enamel pin, and 2 Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbooks. Now, as far as the film itself, when it comes to the MCU, I of course have been a big fan from the beginning. The first Black Panther movie I really enjoyed, especially in that particular phase. It had some great characters, cast, set pieces, action, and Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger really was an inspired choice for casting. Fast forward to the sequel, which unfortunately had to deal with the passing of star Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther T'Challa. That was really an impossible task. So no matter how they were going to craft the sequel without its main star, it was not something I envy for the screenwriter or the director, and ultimately I have mixed feelings about the results. Without going into deep spoilers, I ultimately feel that they chose the wrong character to take on the Black Panther mantle going forward. I understand why they did it. I mean, Shuri is of course his sister, but just unfortunately the character works more as a supporting role. I would have much rather they give the Black Panther mantle to Nakia or Okoye or even M'Baku, but it really was a difficult task no matter who they picked to have the Black Panther character and that person taking over. So it was kind of a lose-lose in that scenario, but this is what we got going forward. I do feel that the film is a little bit bloated in the runtime. You could have shaved off 20-25 minutes. It would have made it a much tighter narrative and gotten rid of some of the superfluous fluff that I feel was added into the final film. Namor was a good villain. I really enjoyed his character and the actor playing him. I thought did a wonderful job. Talokan as a civilization looked really good. I want to see more of that going forward. And the movie was okay. I just wouldn't place it right up there with, some of the top tier MCU films. But Ryan Coogler's direction, I think, really worked, and I'm very anxious to see what the man has going forward. Watching it a second time for this 4K review, my feelings are pretty much the same as when I watched it initially in the theater. But who knows, it may grow on me more going down the line, and I'm still very much a fan of the MCU, but this one I think was a little bit more of a miss than hit. Alright, we're going to talk about the picture quality and the audio in just a moment, but first let's do a quick unboxing of the Steelbook. Okay, we have the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook edition of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. There's 2 different Steelbooks. I opted to go for the Talokan one. It's just a little bit more colorful, but both are available at Best Buy. And back, and the spine, and then interior. Some artwork on the discs and interior art as well. So, yeah, I think overall really nice. Now let's talk about the picture quality and the audio. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has a 2:3:9:1 aspect ratio. It was finished at a 4K digital intermediate with HDR10 for the grading. Now, of course, those that are familiar with Disney and their recent history treatment of physical media, which was once the home for all the bells and whistles, will not be finding the IMAX enhanced scenes here. This feature has been exclusive to Disney Plus for that content, which quite frankly still feels like a slap in the face to us collectors. By all accounts, the image quality is what you'd expect from a modern, for all audiences, blockbuster in the comic book genre. It's clean, inherently colorful, with absolutely no shortcomings in the source. The 4K DI does a fantastic job exhibiting the smallest bit of detail. The various clothing and costuming has wonderful depth, with facial features showcased well. When it comes to the obvious CGI elements, it can look a little bit soft and smooth in those instances, but everything involving practical effects really stand out as they should. With HDR, not Dolby Vision, which once again is relegated to Disney Plus, there are appreciable, though not dramatic, gains in the film's color palette. The earthy tones presented in the film look naturally bold, with occasional emphasis to certain colors such as gold and red that really shine. Highlights involving weapon discharge, powers, lab, and computer screens have a bit more visual flourish. The lighting, both artificial and natural, appears striking to look at throughout the film. Black levels are appropriate and true, staying in line during a particular scene with no unnatural elevation. Shadow detail is nicely preserved with no signs of crush. Black Panther Wakanda Forever on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has a Dolby Atmos audio presentation. One step forward, two steps back is the best way I could describe how Disney has handled this 4K release audio-wise. I apparently was starting to be lured into a false sense of hope that Disney was starting to turn things around when it comes to their 4K disc and the audio experience. Both Thor, Love and Thunder and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness had actually really decent audio experiences. But here we are, kind of taking a couple steps backwards with an underwhelming audio from the Mouse House. For starters, it's just flat, which I'll touch on again shortly, and sadly it's not terribly dynamic either. For the surround environment, heights in particular, there just isn't much in the way of consistent activity. To be fair though, when I saw Wakanda Forever in my local IMAX theater, I was a bit surprised that the height output wasn't very strong, which naturally carries over to the home release. Sure, there are some occasional score cues and audio effect here and there, but nothing to really show off what the real estate can offer. Mid-levels and rears do get a bit more playful with action scenes, but once again, it's nothing to write home about. Intermittent ambient effects add a bit of flavor to the surround space, allowing for some sense of immersion. Dialogue reproduction is pretty solid. I didn't find any issues really to talk about during the film's action-heavy scenes. The LFE is neither punchy or boomy. Fights are pretty anemic in the bass department, which just speaks to the overall lack of energy this Atmos track has. Musical beats, explosions, and other would-be low-end situations are, quite frankly, substandard. For the picture quality, I'm going to give Black Panther Wakanda Forever on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray an A. As far as the image goes, the latest entry from the MCU has a nice looking picture. The HDR grading doesn't revolutionize the color space, but it still allows nice subtle enhancements that I think are very noticeable. If you're a physical media collector and want to add this one to your MCU collection, I do recommend it. For the audio mix, I'm going to score this one a B-. I wish I could say that the Atmos was an improvement just like the previous two films in the MCU on 4K, but it's sadly not the case. Dynamic activity is average, but the overall audio just lacks a bit of energy and oomph. If you're going to be buying this, it definitely won't be for the Atmos. So that is my review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. If you're interested in picking up a copy for yourself, I will leave an Amazon link in the comments section. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But if you have the 4K disc already, let me know your thoughts down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.